What's up guys, here's Ahmed Nasser from Stereo 007 at YouTube. Today we're gonna discuss the RMI and we're gonna implement a small application about RMI. And generally RMI consists of a server and a client, and between those two we have something called the RMI registry. So basically we have a URL for RMI, which is consists from the RMI and the host name. You can put the port, sometimes it's optional. If you use the port 80, automatically will be localhost. Server name, service name. We have for example, we have a chat program. We make a interface and name that interface as a chat program interface, and will be our service name. So this is an example of how to put the service name, how to put the localhost, and so forth. So basically there's a client and there's a server, and between these two we have our RMI registry. So without RMI registry we cannot connect the client to the server, so it's very important. And we're using interface, and we use a remote object into the the server program. We need to use naming.lookup, and we need to use naming.rebind in order to connect to rebind the unicast object, which is the RRL, with the interface with the servers. So we will know that in the next few minutes. We have a client here, we have a server. This is the basic architecture of RMI. We have a stubs and skeleton which connected to each other to make a communication way between these two. We have a remote reference layer. Okay, but basically we have as I said, we have the following development procedure that we want to follow in the next few minutes. We have a RMI. We need to define the server or the interface, the server interface or the object interface, and after that we need to define the server implementation for this object interface. After that we gonna create and register server object. We're gonna rebind the server object, and after that we're gonna look up the server the server object. So we're gonna call the method that is working in the server and see how is that working with RMI. So basically let's go to Eclipse. Here we go. We start a new project making 3 classes, so I just want to pass in hurry way. We imported this kind of stuff, basically RMI naming, RMI registry, but the most important one is RMI naming here, scanner. This is in client, but first let me go to the interface. So here this is the general interface. You can define all the method, the variable that you need in the new project. So server interface, and in this we have defined the interface, which is server interface. So as you can see here, we have a server interface. We have an implementation for the server implementation that extend the server interface, and we have a server, we have a client, and also we have a stub, but stub is auto generated from the as I said, RMIC. So you will see that later in this tutorial. So first thing, create an interface. We define a method that we give a name, and we return a name as a string. We throw an exception. This is for the interface. We go implementation, and implementation has the following stuff. We have imported the following. We just make a unicast, extend the unicast object, and implement the server interface. So we implement the interface that we have. We get this method, auto overrided. We just specify the return type. We got the name from here. We put it here, and we just return the server say something, hi for the name. Okay, this is also a constructor. We just call the default constructor, which is the unicast remote object, which is very important in getting the stub. So if you want to generate the stub, we will use this unicast remote object. After that, we move on to the server. We created a new server here, just a basic. We get a driver, we get a client. So we got two separate programs, two separate different main methods. This is for the server and this is for the client. So we got two programs here, one running the server, one running the client. So in the server side, we just implement the RMI. We just make an instance from RMI implementation, which is extend the unicast and implement the server interface, and we just make a new instance from that and put the instance in the naming the rebind. This is inside the RMI registry. So to do that, this must be done because it's very important when you want to connect the client with the server. So this is done with RMI naming the rebind. We just specify the server interface name, which is the main interface that we have, and the RMI. So this is done, and we just implement this method, server interface. We just put the object, okay, no problem. We just need to test if this connected or rebinded or binded to the database, to the server. In the client, finally, the last one here, we just import the RMI, the scanner, and make a new method here, main method, and give it a URL. As I said in the first of this tutorial, the beginning, we got RMI localhost. The localhost, you can change it if you have a different localhost. You can put the IP instead of the localhost. And here we just put the server, the main server interface that we have. So server interface, and we created a server interface, and just look up. As I said, we need to look up the URL to get the server. So we look up to connect from the client side to the RMI registry. We use the lookup. So we just cast that to server interface, and we just connect to the server interface using the RMI registry when we're in the client. So this ROP has access to the server. So we ask the user to enter a name here. The user put the name, scan from the console, and after that we make a new string and call this remote object, and this remote object will call the method in the server, and after that we print from the client to the server and get a reply, and the reply is saved in the str, and after that we just print it out on the screen. So this is the first thing. So how we can run the RMI registry, how we can generate the stub. Only we have 4 classes here. We need to run all this kind of stuff in the same time. So to do that, we just go to the main folder, which has all the classes. RMI, we got a source, we got a bin, all the classes are here. So this is the main folder that we need here. Just go and copy all the stuff from the above here. Just I want to copy the bath. Okay, go to CMD, run as administrator. Try to get 3 copies, 3 main screen, 3 CMD screen from here. Okay, we got 3. Okay, just go up a little bit over here. So we need to go to the folder, to the main folder. So first thing, just want to go to the folder. So paste go to the folder. So we are in the same folder, as you can see here. We're in the same folder where all the classes are. So just if you can go mark this, sorry, okay, here we go. Just go and copy this, minimize, go to the same folder, because we need a 3 console window. We need 3 console windows here, because we want to run the registry, we want to run the server, and we want to run the client. So that's why. Here we go. Okay, but before anything, first thing that you need to do is generate a stub. So the stub is very important in connection with the server. So it will be auto-generated from the implementation interface or server implementation here. We need to auto-generate the stub. So this is a great thing in RMI. We auto-generate a stub. So in order to do that, with RMIC, and we give it the server implementation. So we put server implementation, and we just click enter. So here we done. We just entered and run the RMIC, which is run auto generate the stub. As you can see here, we got the stub here. So after that, you need to run the RMI registry in order to run the client and server. So RMI registry, we run the RMI registry. As you can see here, it's binding, so it's loading here, so it's running. You can notice that. So after running the RMI registry and see this prompt turn off and on, you can know that RMI registry is running. So we cool, we don't have any problems. Let's back to the 2 prompts that we have. Okay, one will be for the server and one will be for the client. So we need to run the server, and the server name class is server. So basically we just put Java server, we run the server, so we get this message, server interface bound to name server interface. So we are ready for use, it's ready for use, so that's cool. And this is basically printed out from the server here. We just printed out this method, as you can see here. So nothing fancy. Okay, after running the server, and don't close it, just keeping the you know, we got all the console windows here, don't close anyone. After that, we need to run the client. And notice that when we run the client, go to the client, as you can see here, we just look up, give the URL, connect with the RMI registry, and connect to the server, and the server will turn on, and we just give the data from the client to the server and return back the data and show up that data in the client at the server replay. So we need to scan here from the console. So let me run the client. So as you can see here, it's a client, so just put Java client and type enter, and the prompt asks us to please enter your name for the server. So let me enter my name. Click OK, click enter. Server replay, we have a server says hi Ahmad Nasser. So it's a very nice game here. So just this is basically a quick implementation of the RMI, how to look up, how to rebind, how to use the RMIC, and using the following. As we said, first we implement the interface. Second, we make a class which is extend the unicast remote object. We use the super constructor for the unicast remote object, and we implement the server interface to get this method here. And also notice that the server interface extend the remote object, which is very important. And we have a server here, basically a server program, two different programs. In the server side, we make a rebind with the server interface name, and the RMI implementation class, which is extend the unicast object and implement the server interface. And we just rebind it, and in the client we make other stuff. We just make a lookup. So we got the server interface here, ROP. We just make a casting to the server interface and using naming, which is part of the registry, RMI registry, and save that all the stuff in the ROP, and using that ROP to connect to the server. So this is basically the RMI registry in this game. So I hope you benefit from this. Here's Ahmed Nasser from Stereo 007 at YouTube. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and see you later in other tutorial. Thank you.